I recently spent the best part of 2 weeks in Japan. What did you find there in the way of flora and fauna, I hear you ask? Well, stick around to find out. First stop is the Imperial Palace Gardens in Tokyo. There's a gorgeous corner called the Ninomaru Garden. Here you can find large, colourful koi. This one is a Teisho Sanshoku, also known as a Teisho Sankei. I also briefly saw a kingfisher of some sort, but failed to get a photo. Quite a few dragonflies, which I also failed to photograph. Round the corner is a big clump of yellow flowers. I believe these are known as golden lace. The butterflies love it. This is a common blue bottle, also known as the blue triangle, Latin name Graphium sarpedon. This one is an Asian or Japanese swallowtail, Latin name Papilio xuthus. Further along are trees growing these enormous fruits. In fact, these pomelos, as they are known, are the largest of all citrus fruits and can grow to a diameter of 12 inches. Grapefruit are a hybrid of a pomelo and a sweet orange. After a few days in Tokyo, we headed north to Nikko. From there you can get a bus up into the mountains. We got off at Yumoto Onsen and went for a walk, taking in two secluded lakes, Lake Kirikomi and Lake Karikomi. On the way to the lakes I saw a number of dragonflies. I think this is an autumn darter. Also a lot of trees, mostly Japanese cedar and bamboo with stems at least an inch in diameter, as well as some silver birch and some fungus. The following day we went on a ferry trip around Lake Chuzenji. A little overcast but well worth doing. After visiting the Italian Embassy Villa, we went for a short walk along the perimeter of the lake and I spotted a pair of Japanese macaques. I also saw this, which I believe is a Japanese wagtail. After our visit to Nikko, we caught the train back to Tokyo and then caught the Shinkansen to Shinosaka, where we changed trains and headed down the west coast of the Kii Peninsula to Kii Tanabe. The following day we went for a wander around Kii Tanabe, eventually ending up at Tanabe Port. There we saw what might be mistaken for a raven. It isn't. It is a Japanese large-billed crow, sometimes known as the jungle crow. Apparently they can be quite aggressive and are known to attack humans. This plant is roselle or Hibiscus sabdifera. It has many uses. You can make a drink from it and it is a mild laxative as well as helping with colds. Doesn't seem to be native to Japan. I believe this is Cosmos sulphureus. I grew Cosmos, the pinky white sort, in a tub this year. But I don't get hummingbirds feeding on the nectar, but wherever we found these, we also found what I thought were tiny little hummingbirds. They aren't, however. They are probably hummingbird hawk moths, because there are no hummingbirds in Japan. However, they do keep moving around, so it's hard to get a photo. Here's a photo taken by someone with more skill and patience. The original plan was to catch the bus to Takejiri-Oji and then walk the Kumano-Kodo pilgrimage trail as far as Chikatsuyu, but we just didn't feel up to it and caught the bus straight to Chikatsuyu. After lunch we headed east along the trail for a bit, and on the way back I saw this bird perched on top of a pole. I am fairly sure this is a black kite, although it isn't particularly black, and in this photo I am struggling to see the forked tail that kites usually have. If anyone knows any better, let me know in the comments below. The next day we had time to wander around Chikatsuyu a bit before catching the bus. We spotted another black kite, probably, might even have been the same bird. We also saw what I believe to be a female Asian stone chat, which is also known as a Siberian stone chat. A bit further on we came across another patch of orange cosmos, and sure enough, a whole squadron of hummingbird hawk moths. This time I managed to get some photos. I also got a snap of a painted lady butterfly. These migrate over enormous distances. You can find them in the UK. There was also a sweet chestnut tree. This is a native of southern Europe and Asia Minor. It was introduced into the UK by the Romans. So then we caught the bus to Hongu, a sort of centre for the Kumano-Kodo trail, and home of the Kumano-Hongu Teisha, one of the 3 grand shrines. On the way in you pass this torii gate, which is near the original location of the shrine. It is said to be the largest in the world, standing 33.9 metres high and 42 metres wide. After a spot of lunch we caught the bus uphill to Hoshinmonoji and walked east in the direction of Fushiogami. Some decent views from the trail of hills heavily wooded with Japanese cedar and Japanese cypress. This is a zinnia, which is native to Mexico. After passing through Mitsunomi-Oji with its traveller-protecting red-clad Jizo statues, we came to a former school building with some tables outside. Whilst we were relaxing, I managed to snap this grasshopper. Not entirely sure which species this is, but it was at least 40 millimeters long. Eventually we reached the outskirts of Fushiogami and started to descend down to our accommodation. On the way we passed more sweet chestnut trees. Turns out there are many varieties of sweet chestnut, and the local company Wakayama Shoten makes them into a jellied dessert known as yokan. However, I think yokan is often made with other ingredients such as red bean, matcha and fruit. Speaking of fruit, I think this is a persimmon tree. Persimmons are another local speciality, and there are several different varieties. Next day we decided to head back to Hoshinmonoji on the bus and walk the Akagi-go trail to Yonomine Onsen. A little way into the walk you come to Funatama Jinja, a Shinto shrine guarded by 2 statues of foxes. These are known as kitsune and are often found in pairs guarding shrines. Then the path went uphill fairly steeply before levelling out onto a ridge with some decent views. A bit further on we came to the Nabawari Jizo. Nabawari means broken pot. Apparently a famous monk by the name of Ippen Shonen was travelling in the area, and his disciple was busy cooking rice in a pot. Suddenly all the water vanished and the pot cracked due to the heat. I have to say that seems a pretty flimsy excuse for erecting this monument, but I may be missing something. By this time we were on a wooded ridge, only problem being that the trees did tend to block the view. This is a red-belted polypore, sometimes known as a red-belted conch. We do have these in the UK, but they are very rare. Don't eat them, they are pretty tough. Not entirely sure what this is. Google reckons it is common fumitory, but I'm not so sure. The leaves look all wrong to me. This is what remains of the Kakihara Jaya tea house. It had been an important stop on the pilgrimage route for a long time, possibly as far back as the 17th century, and was inhabited until the mid-1970s when it was abandoned. This goes by the name of Scarlet Bonnet in the UK. Eventually we made it to Yunomine Onsen. Rather nice and very quiet. Nevertheless, we managed to catch the bus back to Hongu town and visited the shrine. Nice, but nowhere near as extensive as the shrine complex at Nikko. We eventually found our way back to our accommodation. I encountered one last chunk of wildlife just outside the bathroom. This is a huntsman spider. Not sure which exact species. It was bigger than anything I had seen in the UK, probably about 10 centimetres from leg tip to leg tip. They can reach a leg span of 15 centimetres. If it bit you, you would probably know about it, but you wouldn't need to visit a hospital in all likelihood. Next day we were travelling to Haneda Airport. Bus, train, Shinkansen, train. No wildlife to be seen other than the human variety. Well, that's about all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then like, subscribe and whack that notification bell. Bye.